What is up, guys? Welcome in. My name is Nick. Welcome to my channel. We're just starting off here. Just basically signed up for Lowe's Fuel Motorsport a few weeks back, going through the Rookie Series with the Endurance 45-minute race at Watkins Glen for week 9. Yeah, this is really just a new adventure for me. Just got back into sim racing, sort of a bit more hardcore, and thought I would make some content for you guys to hopefully get some enjoyment out of it. So, going on a first flying qualifying lap here, bit green as you can see because I'm just going to completely miss the apex here for turn 1. Coming through the bus stop, really not hustling it at all, getting very cautious. Toe, again, not the line you want. Heel, making up my own line here. Yeah, okay, sure. And what this is going to do is give us a very, very mediocre banker lap of a 147.3. Been doing 145s up until this point, so we'll go again, see if we can make this apex a bit better. Yeah, pretty close. Much more aggressive through bus stop. Gets us at just up by about a second so far on the lap. Hill, coming out of that, we're a little bit of a slide, but about a second and a half up. So coming through turn 10, a little bit of traffic ahead, and we just drift a little bit wide, invalidating the lap. So gone round the lap again. Bit of slide coming out of turn 1 there, nothing too major. Pretty much the same pace we're on, a little bit deep coming through the second half of the bus stop. We're going to lose a little bit of time there. Coming out of toe, we're going to just be a bit more cautious through here, keeping the lap clean, dropping a little bit, maybe a tenth or so through this section here. Finishing at a 1:45.8, a much more respectable time, much closer to what I've been doing. Go again, and we just drop a wheel in the grass, and yeah. So we're going to give it a while, come towards the end of the session. Turn 1, again, not really bothering the apex, and we just drift out a little bit wide, invalidating that attempt. And the last attempt, 30 seconds on the clock, again wide, and a random Lamborghini appears in the middle of the track. So, yeah, not the greatest qualifying sessions. We got a 1:45.8, which is pretty good for me. I'm doing the sort of low 1:45s. Here you see the qualifying results. Qualified P13, 1:45.8 compared to 1:44.2 with pole. Hopefully we're looking to try and get into the top 10. That's going to be the goal for this race. As I say, still in rookies. Let's see how the race goes here. And we're away, and not the greatest of starts. Porsche gets on the left, gets a bit of a jump. McLaren all over our back bottom. Right, coming down into turn 1 here, we're going to be overly cautious, just making sure we make it through T1. If you eagle-eyed behind you, would have had a quick look to see the absolute carnage happening. Let's cut away and see what happened behind us. Lamborghini just drives straight back into the Ferrari, and just absolute hell ensues. Cars crashing into everyone. Yeah, okay. Alright, coming through hill, end of lap 1, we see a Mercedes pointing the wrong way coming through that turn. That's not where you want to be. Let's see what happened here. Ferrari just outbraking himself, catching the corner of the Merc, spins him round. Now that contact with Mercedes is going to push that Ferrari wide. We have a quick look up the inside of 9 here, but nothing really doing. Everyone's slow through that corner. I mean, Lamborghini is right behind us. Ferrari getting a great run up through the 90, up the S's, here into bus stop from the McLaren in front. Just slides it on the inside. A lot of space given by both parties. Nicely done. Coming down into laces, we outbrake ourselves a little bit. McLaren a bit slower than what we were expecting, having to take avoiding action. This is now going to make me slow through most of the boot section here. We've got the Lamborghini here right behind us, getting real feisty coming in through toe here. Coming up here through 9 again. The McLaren is wide off the line. We have a look up the inside, potentially thinking about maybe diving it into 10 here. Not quite close enough, but a good run here could see us into T1. But we get a massive amount of overstick on entry. Big correction, lots of time lost there. Here we come down into heel, just closing the McLaren. He's a little bit slower on apex than what I was expecting, having to take avoiding action here. That's going to put me all out of shape through 10. Put myself in the middle of the track to try and hold the corner, but the Lamborghini finds just a car width there. Pushes himself alongside me. I don't want to chop in on him. It's a long race. We're only on lap 4 of what's going to be about 25 laps. Just giving him the space through the inside there. Delays me getting on the power just enough to put me under pressure again from the other Lamborghini that's now sat right behind me here. Little bit of correction needed, means I'm slow off the corner coming into T1. Again, I see him alongside me. I don't know if he's got the brakes to be able to make sure it doesn't go back to me if I go in any deeper into that corner. It means he's alongside me all the way up through the S's here into the bus stop, and I again just give him the space. Coming through here, he's a bit wide on his line, delays him getting onto power, goes very, very close to the wall here, so potentially something doing coming into T1. We have a look, but nothing really there, too far back. Just make sure we get a nice early braking point on the power early. We get a run on him because he has a bit of a moment, but he just chops us there. A little bit naughty, I think, on his part. We back out just to make sure. Lose a bit of time, but he gets held up by a back marker. Unfortunately, so do we here, coming through laces. Just delaying us being able to get on power. Couldn't quite figure out what line that guy was taking through there, so just giving him loads of space. Again, really just making sure at the moment we have some good exits to get through the S's. Massive moment from the Lamborghini there. Coming in through turn 1, currently in 12th position, just gets a boot full of oversteer and goes nose first into the barrier. As you see, no brake lights, drifting towards the racing line, gets going and just completely destroys the innocent Audi that's coming through. Have a look here, misses the apex, tries to get on the power so he doesn't lose too much time. Too much, grounds out, loses the back end, trying to get the car into gear going and pulls onto the racing line at about 8 miles an hour. Cleaves out this Audi. Looking from this position, there's really little the Audi could do. Just as he was coming past, he just starts accelerating into him, and yeah, that's both of their races done. So here we come through lap 8, coming in through toe here. We see some fighting ahead, which means we're keeping in this battle here. They're running slow because of all of this scrapping here. Lamborghini all over the back of this McLaren. Again, means they're slow in here. I'm just being a bit cautious on the line. You see here, I was up a second coming into these corners here, and I'm losing all that time getting stuck in this traffic. Lamborghini slow off at 10 here. Some more words that should not be spoken in an LFM chat. Good exit out of turn 11 here. Got to have a look, see, Lamborghini goes defensive. We have a think about having a dive up on the brakes, but you see just drifts over into the racing line. It means I have to be a bit cautious on here. Again, focusing on a nice smooth exit so we can get a good run up the S's. As you can see, coming up here to the bus stop, the Lamborghini's managed to do the move on the outside here. Both of them making it through, they're fine. Coming back through hills, now very, very close to the Porsche in front, coming through that. And all this squabbling is just... I'm just losing time. You can see I'm down another half second because of all of this squabbling, just having to keep an eye on what's going on here. So I decide to see if we can do the undercut. We jump in the pits here, only on lap 9, but I think it could potentially pay off because I've got more pace. I feel like I've got more pace in me than what I'm currently doing, stuck behind this traffic. So we pit, we come out, and I have an absolute complete brain fart here. I see the blue flags, expecting to see the lead. Actually, at this point, check my map and I realise it's a back marker. So we've just dropped probably about 2, 3, maybe 4 seconds in that. Thankfully, over the lap, back marker didn't really hold us up. He was actually doing some alright pace. No real issue here. Coming through, beginning of lap 11, moves out of the way nice and easily. Coming in lap 12, you can see we've gone past a few people in the pits now, so back up to P13, pretty much where we pit. And on exit, we have this blue McLaren right here. I hold him tight coming through the bottom of the S's just to keep him off throttle so I can make sure I get the move done before we get anywhere near the bus stop. Right, back behind McLaren here, coming through T1, not really making any ground through that early pit stop. No undercut gain really. Running wide here, but main focus was just to get as much power out of that corner as I could. This McLaren has struggled all the way up through these S's coming to the bus stop. He's had people pass him on the inside and the outside from what I've watched so far this race. Fed up losing time behind him, a little bit of frustration kicking in. We look on the inside, we're alongside, we brake for the corner, but we just cut him coming through here, expecting him to fall behind me. He doesn't, he fights it a bit more than I was expecting. My apologies on that one there. Next lap, coming through the bus stop, and we just completely overshoot our turn, and we've got the other McLaren that we passed on pit exit now all over my back bottom once again. So we have another attempt here at the bus stop. We're a bit more cautious on entry. We get ourselves over all the curbing, but we just get a bit greedy coming out of the bus stop here through turn 5, and we just can't get the car in. Leaves us very, very slow coming down through laces here. We go defensive. McLaren on the outside. We hold the tight line, keep the apex, hold him outside, leave the car's width, and thankfully we don't lose any more positions. We've got a semi-defensive into toe, but he doesn't look like he's going to try anything. And we hold him off for the remainder of the lap. Very questionable entry at T1, leaves us running wide and slow on the power. Leaves the McLaren chasing us all the way up through the S's here. Not quite close enough to have a look into that. The sign there throwing me off a little bit just as we come into bus stop. But he wasn't quite close enough to get the move done. And this time we focus on making sure we get ourselves in through turn 5. Again, now another lap in, very close to us. We focus on that. We get a big amount of oversteer coming out of T1. Again, leaves the McLaren very, very close to us up here through the S's. And he's going to be possibly looking at another move. Doesn't quite do it. We go semi-defensively. Again, making sure we keep that position through here. Nicely through the bus stop. We have a little bit of a moment here. Just complete brain fart. Not dropping down into second when I should have. Means we're slow on exit. He's very, very, very close to us here coming through 10. We're hesitant on throttle. He is right in our bumper. But nowhere to go. A little bit cautiously sure that he does not get on the power before we do. So back at bus stop once again, McLaren still all over us. We've really not been able to make any form of gap here for ourselves. Through heel, again very, very close. This is some stressful stuff at this point. This guy is all over me. I am just not quick enough to pull away from him. Again, good team one here. And the bus stop once again, we mess up a little bit through our line here. We just cut the grass there. This is all out of shape for the second half of the bus stop, which gives the McLaren the gap that he needs to slide up the inside. We don't fight it too much. Look to see we've got a nice run out of this. Look to see maybe can we possibly get something going through laces, if not into toe. Miss our braking point at this point. Not quite back in our rhythm after that mistake, and we're just going to sit behind this McLaren here, see if we can hold with him. We've been quicker than him in certain areas, not enough to pull away. In close here with this McLaren, he takes a little bit too much of the curb in here onto the grass for the final corner. And you see slow and off the wall here coming down the main straight. We are getting closer. We think about it, but we just back out of it. We are near the end of this race. We are sat in P9. This is good positions. Gets a little bit of a moment coming out here. We think maybe we can have a run here, up here. We are close coming into the bus stop, but not quite close enough to throw it around the outside. Cautious of what happened earlier with the other McLaren. We just back out of it, make sure both of us get through nicely. We stick with him through the corner of this. Again, a little bit wide there going through toe. There are signs that we might be able to get back into this. That is until coming through here we just get a massive amount of oversteer. We drop back a couple of seconds, and that was pretty much that. That mistake sort of drops us too far back here. We were just managing the gap to P10, come home P9, up from P13, so a good finish. Relatively incident free, only a couple of off tracks, no collisions at all. Once again, apologies to that McLaren for the bus stop incident. Didn't mean to chop you as hard as I did. We finished with 145.3, fastest lap was 144.5, so a ways off the front of the field, but comfortable top 10 pace. But anyway, that is race 1. Thank you very much for watching. I'll be doing a few more of these as we go, try and do at least one, maybe 2 a week. Thank you very much for watching, and hopefully we'll see you again in the future.